The Critical Role live show, a ton of 2024 core rulebook news, and a new Game of Thrones season is filming now.
This pleases me.
Welcome to Fantasy News Friday, our weekend news rundown. Today we're talking about the latest Critical Role episode, a ton of D&D stuff, and a brand new Game of Thrones spin-off. Remember, if you like these kinds of videos, be sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons so we can keep on making them. Now, on to the news.
Issue number 1 is the first issue we're going to talk about.
The Critical Role live show was filled with some big surprises, with Sam debuting his new character Breus Doomseed, a Minotaur Paladin Bard who is sworn to Asmodeus. The group has an unexpected team-up of sorts with Ludinus, who also arrived to put Dominax away, while Dominax was eventually defeated by Tevin Klask, the NPC Paladin of Asmodeus, which led to a hilarious moment where Matt basically had to, "How do you want to do this?" to himself.
Audience
says it, the audience says it.
How do I want to do this?
But what happened next was the real surprise. Ludinus surprisingly tried to sway the group to his side, claiming that he has found proof that the gods were to blame for the calamity, and that, once again, he has proof. Ludinus then uses a magical device to show them the history of Aeor, which directly led into the next Exandria Unlimited. That's right, Brennan Lee Mulligan is returning to DM a 3-part Exandria Unlimited arc, featuring Taliesin, Laura, and Ashley, along with Noshir Dalal, who you may recall from Candela Obscura, Nick Marini, and Abubakar Salim. Exandria Unlimited Downfall will run for 3 weeks starting on July 11th and running for 3 episodes in place of Critical Role. Downfall will basically take up the entire month of July over on Critical Role, so we can't wait to watch it.
Is it Thursday yet?
Brotherwise Games showed a brief preview of their upcoming Stormlight Archive RPG, which showcased how to create a Knight Radiant character. In the preview, players can't start the process of becoming a Knight Radiant until they reach level 2 or higher, and then they have to choose a first ideal. Players will have to work towards unlocking additional abilities, with players aiming to complete a new goal called Speaking the First Ideal. Now, based on the rules that we saw, it seems like this completing a new goal seems to be some sort of mechanic that's in the game. Now, keep in mind that the game includes a path system that's more akin to a talent tree than traditional classes. We can't wait to see more of this game, hopefully soon.
Can't wait!
Wizards of the Coast has unveiled the new Paladin and Fighter class rules for the 2024 Player's Handbooks, or at least a summary of them. A lot of Paladin fans are pretty upset, as the Divine Smite ability has been changed to a spell that requires a bonus action to activate. In theory, that really doesn't mess with the Paladin's action economy, but it functionally means that the Paladin won't be able to smite twice on their turn, plus activate a smite spell as a bonus action, and smite on a reaction attack of opportunity, all on the same turn. The fighter, meanwhile, gains more second winds to use and can now spend second wind as a kind of resource to trigger other new abilities. And of course, both classes have access to the Weapon Mastery subsystem, which is new to the 2024 Player's Handbook. Now, full articles about all the changes made to both classes can be found in the description to the video.
Check this out.
Also, a clarification about our video on backwards compatibility with the 2024 Player's Handbook. Wizards of the Coast did confirm to us that older subclasses will work with the 2024 class rules, meaning that a player can use something like a Bladesinger with the 2024 Player Handbook rules for wizards, provided that that wizard uses the 2024 rules within the game that they're playing. This means that the 2024 Player's Handbook should have guidance on how to use the subclasses, races, and backgrounds that don't appear in the 2024 Player's Handbook, which means that their claims of backwards compatibility is actually pretty accurate.
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!
A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms, the new HBO Game of Thrones series, has officially started filming. The first season will consist of 6 episodes and will be based on the popular Dunk and Egg series by Martin that is set 100 years before the start of the Game of Thrones series. This means that we will now have 2 Game of Thrones prequel series airing on HBO in the next couple of years, with plans for a third one still in the works.
Come on, give me it. Give me it.
Warhammer Age of Sigmar is getting closer and closer to its 4th edition launch. This week, Games Workshop finished detailing the 24 factions that appear in its popular fantasy game, with deep dives on each of the factions, and explaining how the rules work within the game. Now, we'll have more on Warhammer Age of Sigmar in the coming weeks, but if you want to jump into the game, you should probably mosey on over to Warhammer's website and pick up a Spearhead army to check out.
It's about damn time.
And finally, Valheim is getting its own board game. The survival-themed game is getting a new board game courtesy of Iron Gate Studios and Mood Publishing, with a focus on different scenarios that capture part of the Viking survival experience. Players will have a 3D model of their home in the game, which players will have to fill out over the course of that game. The game launches on GameFound later in 2024. Well, that's all the news stories that we have today. Let us know what your favorite story was in the comment section, and don't forget to hit those like and subscribe buttons.